The last time I held my grandfather's hand, it was already turning into ash. He wrapped his fingers awkwardly around my palm, told me I burned too quickly. He doesn't know what he's holding on to these days, has grown too clammy to protest the forest fires raging against his skin. He said to be careful, told me I am mouthful enough without tasting like smoke, told me the only way to catch smoke is to keep it in your lungs, let it steal your voice and rot you from the inside out. You do not bring disease home to meet your parents, he says. You cannot build a home around someone destined to dissipate, to seep into the walls and choke their very children out of existence. You are too much woman for this much flame. He asks who could ever love me like this. And I, body all spilt blood and spattered ink, throat full of arguments, dying like embers, dying like the man before me, my green eyes staring ablaze at me from his face. I look down. I know he is talking about himself more than me. Know the way fire has brush-stroked its way down my father's back, those scars the reason he cowers, hunched in front of the man he could never hold long enough to hug. They say my father's voice is velvet, soft, rich, giving, never quite growing into itself. But people with charred throats learned to speak a different way. The drum beats he pounded into my back, the night he played target practice with the wall, and me, all 7 years of Spitfire, heard the knife above my head, too high to have been meant for me, but it's silenced anyway. I know what it is to suffocate the ones you love, to bring warmth but never life, to leave no mark but what you cannot see, what they cannot say. I know there was no apology in those palms. I know as my grandfather lay there, he thought this body of woman more crime than any bruise laid on it. I know the way violence has burned its way into my blood. My inheritance of toxic masculinity weighs heavy on these palms. He lay there, no apology, as they pumped oxygen into his shriveled lungs. It only fed the fire, burning every curve from his smile, branding each word to the inside of his throat. In the hospital room, I touched my head to his feet in a gesture of respect and said nothing. Later, when he has choked out his last breath, my father will return to cremate what is left. He will scatter ashes into water, finally quenched. How else do you love those who are born to burn?